Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Everything is Bad New Fangled Motion Picture Show.
Welcome one and all to another episode of the Everything is Bad New Fangled Motion Picture Show. I'm your host, Niall.
And I'm Nolan.
And today we're going to be reviewing Ron's Gone Wrong. We're going to do a spoiler-free review, and then we'll give you a spoiler warning and possibly go more in-depth into it after that. Not that there's a lot to spoil on this. It is a children's movie.
Fairly predictable.
Fairly predictable. So I was kind of excited for this movie. I mean, okay, so I was gonna say, let's get our rating out there. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah, it was fun. It was.
It's
cute.
doesn't quite hit the level like the best like Pixar fare, but
It's better than the worst Pixar fare.
it is. It's sort of a middle of the road.
Like, this would have been a fine Pixar movie.
Yeah.
As it is, it's a pretty good movie from the studio that we had never heard of.
Apparently haven't done anything.
Yeah, we can get more. We can like mention in a little bit about that because you looked up about that studio. But so I was kind of excited for this movie because like I love the cyberpunk genre. I'm a sucker for it. I love discussions of like transhumanism and like artificial intelligence and the moralities behind all of that, and like questioning like at what point does self-aware AI become human, right? And I saw the trailers for this and I was like, oh, it's like Baby's First Cyberpunk, because he's got this like AI that is different, but he befriends it, and it's like it has emotions and stuff, And I gotta say, so it sort of, that stuff's sort of there.
Yeah.
It's more a commentary on like social media.
Yeah. And data harvesting.
And data harvesting, which is also really interesting for a like, especially for a children's movie. Like, that was all compelling and interesting too. It just wasn't what I was wanting it to be when I went into it. So this movie's sitting at a 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb currently, and I'd say that's about right. It was pretty good,
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was pretty good. I really wasn't expecting a whole lot out of it.
Yeah, well, weren't expecting it to be bad or anything, just really had no expectations on it, except that, like I said, I was kind of hoping that it would be more about like, is this artificially intelligent toy like considered living or not, And like I said, that there's a little bit of that there. We can get into that in the spoiler section. But it's only there for a little bit.
Okay. Say pretty good like family film, because I think everybody, all age groups, can enjoy the movie. There's a lot of like bright colors and silly things for the little kids, but then some.
It's like his grandmother who grew up in a former Soviet country, and
oh yeah, there's
like she's like
she's like the best character.
Well, they say she's like Armenian or
no, she's Bulgarian.
Bulgarian, okay.
She makes like communism jokes.
Yeah, it's pretty amusing. Talk about playing like Stab the Dictator or whatever. Instead of Pin the Tail on the Donkey, it's Stab the Dictator.
At one point, she's
at his birthday.
Like, I forget the exact situation, but she's like, "What is this, Stalinist Russia?"
Oh yeah. But yeah, so basically the main concept here is this company that's like basically Apple. There's a guy who for the company who's like super genius sort of tech bro.
The
idea guy, and then there's like the business guy. And the idea guy comes up with this robot because like talks about how he couldn't make friends as a kid and whatever, so he makes this robot to like specifically be a friend to children. And
like Gamera.
Sure. And so and like they can do all these things. They can like take selfies for you. You can ride around on them. There's like games you can play with them, and you can stream to whatever their version of like TikTok or Instagram is, and stuff like that. So it's an iPhone that can talk back to you and move on its own. But if Siri wasn't an idiot.
Yeah.
So and it's like they at the onset, like, because it starts off with them announcing this product, and the way they talk about it, it makes it seem like they are truly like artificially intelligent things, but they're not really. Like, you watch it and you're like, no, they're really not, though, because they're all just, they follow a set of commands.
Yeah.
Like they have a set of parameters and things and like programmed responses to stuff. But Ron here, like, is like falls off the back of a truck, gets damaged, and so he's different, and so that's like sort of the catalyst for events in the movie.
Kind of like Short Circuit.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not entirely wrong. You're a little bit right.
I think Ron's at least as murderous as Johnny Five.
I mean, he does like slap those kids around in that park. So, but yeah, it's a cute movie, and there's definitely some themes in there that are, I'm not gonna say adult themes because that implies like sex stuff or something, but like mature themes. Yeah, in like being a commentary on social media and like data collecting by these big tech companies and stuff.
There's even something there about, as you get older, you kind of leave your friends behind, sometimes.
Yeah, just like grow apart from your friends, and so that was all interesting and well done, I think. And the only thing is, like, naturally you can tell, like, I don't think it's a spoiler that you can tell, oh, there's gonna be, something going on between the guy who's an idealist and the business guy. At this company. I wish they had done more with that, like to set that up.
Yeah, it's not like it comes out of nowhere. I mean, it comes out of nowhere in that they don't set it up, but we saw it coming a mile away.
Yeah, it doesn't come out of nowhere in that you immediately know what's going to happen, but they don't do anything to set it up. So that's probably like really my only complaint about the movie. And I can get more into specifics on that in the spoilers section, but yeah, that's really the only issue I took with the movie. So,
all right.
Anything else to say on that?
No.
All right. So henceforth, for spoilers. Yeah. So the movie starts off with like I said, the announcement of this new product, and there's like this like video that goes along with it at the beginning, and I'm like, like all it would have taken was like they could have easily put something into that to imply that there was going to be this conflict later on, like between the tech bro and the business guy.
The guy that bore somewhat of a resemblance to
like he was like an overweight Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Like with the black turtleneck and the glasses.
Right. Yeah.
Like Steve Jobs, I mean, like especially, by the time he became sort of famous and like people were like knew what he looked like he lifted.
Well, you probably figured, like, if I'm going to be out on stage announcing all these products all the time,
I'm going to have forearms for it, so.
Also, you needed to slap his employees around a little.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, I just, like, I feel like they could have done a little bit and to build up to that sort of conflict that happens, because, like, He said like there's gonna be a problem with this guy immediately because it's just how these movies go. But there's like literally nothing to set it up. Like, or I wouldn't say literally nothing. Like, there's a couple scenes where he's sort of abrasive towards the tech bro, but nothing really like openly like, oh, this guy's plotting to take over the company.
The one thing that I find odd is these robots. What do they call them? Anyway, no matter. These robots can take a lot of physical abuse, but Ron just falls off the back of a delivery truck and he's totally screwed up. Like, it just totally damages his system and apparently his like Wi-Fi adapter because he can't download like any
so basically
updates.
so basically like from what I kind of gathered is that the very basic functions of the robot are programmed in, but all the advanced cool shit they can do is all driven by the cloud. Like, it's all cloud computed and just streamed through the robot, I think.
Yeah.
Because he can't, being unable to connect, like, means he has none of the functions, basically.
He also can't even download the software update that allows him to charge with solar panels.
Yeah.
Also, the safety parameters are part of the day one download. Maybe not something you should do. Like the whole safety parameters that allow him to not harm a person.
You know, the first law of robotics.
Yeah, part of the day one download that he can't access because he can't connect to the internet because he fell off the back of a truck. Which is the least of the like physical abuse that it takes in this movie. There's like these things all of them can seem to take a lot of damage, but roll off a truck.
Yeah, and the like kind of like, I mean, there was one part where you just sort of have to go, okay, whatever, like that. It's a kids movie, and that's just how they're gonna explain how this happens. But Ron can like remove those safety controls, like the limiting controls from other robots, whatever they're called, as well. Which I thought was like, I was like, that
like
seems
B-bot
weird.
Or something like that.
B-bot, that sounds right. Like that seemed weird to me.
Yeah. See, what would have maybe made more sense is if Ron had some sort of virus, something that he's able to spread to the others.
Yeah. Oh, so the part that's like where you do get a little bit of like, you know, talking about AI and like, no, he's a real person or whatever is, so Ron like develops this personality from his shared time with Barney.
Barney, the kid's name, yeah.
It's a dumb name. Don't name your kids Barney. Unless your last name is Fife. But anyway, so he, you know, like spending time with Barney and like bonding with him, he develops like a unique personality, and the tech bro is fascinated by this, and he's like, oh, I've never been able to like actually develop true artificial intelligence or whatever. So he's really interested in analyzing this. But then he goes and fixes Barney, and I was like, that seems like a weird story beat choice. I mean, I get why, like, okay, we need this to happen to drive the final act of the movie. But I'm like, with everything like this guy had talked about, like that seemed like a weird choice.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, he's not running my algorithm. I've got to find out why he's this way. And then he gets him, and then he removes the thing that makes him this way.
Yeah, but then he immediately like jumps into like full gear to help get it back.
Yeah, like because he realized that was a dumb decision.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was weird. And like I said, I get why they needed that to happen, because they needed, like, that was the driving factor for the final act of the movie, where they got to break in and get his original personality off the cloud, and Oh, he ends up overwriting the algorithm on the cloud with
So
his
all the
personality.
robots now
So-
have his.
well, all the robots now are weird and
I don't
true
know.
friends and
I don't know that I would actually, because he's like not. It's still like a machine, right? You expect it to operate in a certain way.
yes.
So I would be upset. I'd be like returning it. Like, no, give me like a fixed one because I want it to do what it was doing.
Yeah.
I don't want this like robot that's like, it's like, hey, do X command, and it goes, no, I don't feel like it.
Yeah, I don't really want my robot friend to have free will, so
Yeah, because at the end of it is a robot.
yeah. I mean, you give him free will, like that's how you get robot uprisings.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's a cute movie. It's a fun movie. I doubt I'll ever watch it again, but
Yeah.
it was fun.
Oh, you had brought up earlier about the studio changing
Yeah.
around. So it initially, like when they formed, they made a deal with, I think it was Paramount, to produce this movie, and at some point that deal.
This was like 2015 or
Yeah,
something,
it
right?
took them like 5 years to make this movie. At some point, that deal ended, and they made a deal with Fox, and then Disney bought Fox, and so they kept that deal. So it's released under 20th Century Studios, but their Disney did not opt because they don't need another animation studio under their belt.
What? You don't think so?
So they opted to like not continue. Like, okay, we'll honor that deal and you can release this movie.
Yep.
But you got to find someone else, and I think Warner Brothers is who they're currently.
They could have been like Pixar UK.
Yeah, it's a UK based studio.
Yeah.
Set when their first film set firmly in America. Feels like
Firmly. Well, everyone drives on the right side of the road, don't they?
yeah, but I mean everything looks like it's like small town America.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way. Which is weird that this tech giant company would have a headquarters there.
I think it's fairly nearby, but it might not be like in that town.
Well, it's like a supervillain lair. It's built into a hydroelectric dam.
Yeah, probably need a lot of power.
Yeah.
Their, like Epcot Center looking facility.
The elevators are like pods or something, right?
Yeah. Wrapped in tubes.
But yeah, so I think that's probably all I really got to say about that movie.
Yeah.
So our next review is going to be The French Dispatch, which at the time of this recording we've already seen. So go check that out soon, I guess.
Yeah.
The next movie we're gonna see though, I think, is Eternals. Feels like it should be The Eternals, but it's not. It's just Eternals.
Huh.
I
would have thought it was The Eternals.
Yeah. Let's see. After that, we got Ghostbusters and House of Gucci. What do you think about that Resident Evil, Nolan?
So,
Having seen the trailer now.
Yeah, we saw the trailer, and I said to you then that it looks simultaneously better than that original with Mila Jovovich, but lower budget than that movie as well.
Yes. Well, I mean, is there any interest in seeing it, or?
I wouldn't mind seeing it. I know you're not like a horror guy or anything, but
No, and I'm not like a particular Resident Evil fan either, but
I recognize some scenes that were straight out of the game.
Even I recognize some scenes that were straight out of the game.
Like that one where the zombie is like chewing on someone and like looks over his shoulder at them. That's exactly the shot.
Yeah. Yeah, the little synopsis here on IMDb says set in 1998, which is, I believe, when the original released, right?
I believe so.
This origin story explains the secrets of the mysterious Spencer Mansion and the ill-fated Raccoon City. But yeah, and then in December we finally get Spider-Man, No Way Home, The Matrix Resurrections, and The King's Man.
I'm excited for all those movies.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. So
I wasn't sure I would be excited for another Matrix movie, but that trailer looks pretty good.
it does. It looks like definitely more cerebral, and I think that like it looks like they're leaning into more how like all these people are just sort of like obsessed with their tablets and phones and whatever. And I gotta say, like, I think now a movie like The Matrix is sort of even more appropriate to be made now than it was in 1999.
Yeah.
Right, it was 99
Yes.
when the first one, the original, released. The only issue, so the first Matrix movie, all the actors on that were like not super big name actors, which sort of like helped emphasize the feeling of like being an anonymous drone that Neo had, or what's his first name? Thomas.
Thomas Anderson.
Thomas Anderson, yeah. His first name is Mister. And you know, but then this trailer just has Neil Patrick Harris in the first shot of the trailer. You know, so I'm like, okay, I mean, we'll see where this goes, because like everyone else other than Keanu is like still not like a big name or anything.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. No Lawrence Fishburne though. He's busy being Pigeon King or Hobo King or whatever he was in John Wick 3. So I just imagine like who's that dude who declared himself king of the United States, or emperor of the United States, who lived in San Francisco in like the early 20th century, was it?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Like that's just kind of where my mind goes when I think of that.
Sandman arc.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, we're excited for
Real
all
guy,
this.
not just a story in Sandman.
Correct. Which it feels like it's made up for the Sandman when you read it. But anyway, so we're excited for all of those, and in particular, The King's Man, I think, is probably what we're most looking forward to.
Yeah, I think so.
Dude, it's been delayed like a whole ass year. And from what I understand, it was just COVID delays. Like, I think it was about to like actually release when they pushed it back for COVID. So, unlike Dune, where they did push it back for a production issue at first, and then it was COVID pushback after that, right?
I thought it was all COVID. Could be wrong.
No, because it was originally going to release in December of 2019, wasn't it? Or was it December of 2020?
I thought it was spring of 2020. Then it got pushed back to December of 2020. Then it got pushed back.
Anyway. But yeah, so if any of that sounds of interest to you, you want to hear us break that stuff down. I feel like the Matrix Resurrections is going to be a long one when that comes. A long review when we get to that, right?
Yeah.
So, Christina Ricci's in it. Neat.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
I didn't. So anyway, so if any of that sounds of interest to you, go back, check that out. Hit the bell, I guess, or subscribe. I don't know. Or don't. You do you. And check out our other reviews. What was the last one we did? Dune, right?
Yeah.
Was it Dune?
Dune.
Oh man, go check out our Dune review. I'm not going to tell you if we think it was good or bad, but go check out our Dune review. And come back and check out that other stuff too. So until next time, thanks for listening.
Bye.
Toodles.